maybe like a little introduction of how we came to this project and, you know, basically what Robey in the class with Professor Price has done for us. In synthesizing my collaboration with Bernard Brown, it is my aim to situate the choreography of Dr. Zachary Price's course, Black Arts and Black Publics, in a discussion of Black Arts Los Angeles at the Robey, UCLA, and include our positionality as activists, academics, and performance that intermingles our talents together to awaken others and envision ways for revolutionary struggle and radical change. And how we were already on that path, but this class just helped us to give us context to what we were doing.
Exactly. Learning more about the legacy and the tradition of Black arts as protests was significant in that, having already been in the tradition and not knowing why I was doing it, I needed to gain more access to that information. Learning about Amiri Baraka, the Black Arts West movement, and seeing that alongside the work I'd done with Lula Washington and the work that I'm doing here at UCLA as a social activist, scholar, and an artist. Being in this class, Black Arts and Black Publics, basically gave me access to synthesizing and putting all this work together and continuing to move forward.
It was when we did our presentation together on Black Arts West that I realized that when we did movement in that class, something opened up for Professor Price's class. It was just like, not only, you know, were we reading and synthesizing, but we brought movement and the embodiment of it to the class, and I noticed how everyone's face lit up. And so at that point, I already knew that my final project would be kind of leaving a mark for the class of a legacy that it could possibly continue to happen. Because, you know, classes like this don't happen often.
No.
And
5, 6, here we go. It's 1, 2 more times. Last time. Good job, guys.
All right, now we're gonna jerk. Okay.
This didn't come out until after the original part.
Yeah.
I was like, this that second one.
Yeah.
6.
5, 6, 7 to the right. Keep going. Do another one. Dougie for 2 counts to 8. Dougie. 4, 5, 6. Do another one to the right. Left, right, right, left, right. Reject. And you're done.
And, you know, for me, Bronzeville was another moment that when the screenwriters, Aaron and Tim, came in, and also reading it with the shifting grounds of race, and then learning about, you know, how, you know, during Japanese internment, the Japanese were taken away, and then the Black folks coming from the South were taking over their spots. Just the whole play and just how it's historical. I was just like, this is wild. Okay, so I wanted to tell you how I thought of Robey Theatre in conversation with Paul Robeson's politics as an artist and an activist. So I wanted to ask you, how do you feel your work, in particular Bronzeville, falls in line of the legacy that Robeson unapologetically died and lived for?
You have to understand where he starts from. Paul was an athlete, an attorney when the American Bar Association did not allow Negroes into the American Bar Association. He was introduced to the theater by his wife, Islanda Cardoza Good, who was half Jewish. And he was a linguist, a singer, vocalist, who sang in a couple of dozen languages, an actor, various artistic disciplines he was very adept at, an activist, and finally, to answer your question, a humanitarian. This is what he evolved into. Always was, but evolved into and articulated it through his travel and the education he received, the practical education, as opposed to the academic education that he received through his work and traveling throughout the world and learning the language of various people. He had a hand in composing the Chinese national anthem. They named a mountain after him in Russia. He was truly loved by the people because he truly spoke the language of the people. When you go to Spain, it's singing in Spanish, Italy, and Italian, to the Congo, and sing in one of the dialects that were personal to the Congo. So the people loved him because he truly spoke their language.
Chapter learning that we're learning about restricted covenants and finding that Westwood, the jazz investment company, had Westwood only two restrictive covenants where no blacks or anyone that was non-white could even live in Westwood. And now this is where we are as UCLA students, and we're feeling this racial climate that we're having, and we're protesting racist stickers, you know, right outside the jazz.
Bronzeville, story about choices and the consequences of choices. The family that comes there and finds the young Asian man hiding in the attic, refusing to go to the camps because he deemed himself an American citizen. He was born there. And the family that came, and the father, patriarchal figure, who did not want him to stay in his house, in the young man's house, because that was his house. He wasn't just hiding in the attic, it was his home that he had been expelled from. The father had genuine concerns. Here you have a black family just out of Mississippi, a couple of days, and here they are on the West Coast trying to figure it all out. And there is a real threat there because they are, for all intents and purposes, harboring a fugitive who has committed a crime, the crime of being Japanese. And to protect the family, the father didn't want him, wanted to turn and all of that. And so what to do? What kind of choice does one make? Well, Paul made choices. He made important, fundamental choices. He said it, and it's a quote, an artist must take a stand. I had no choice. I must take this stand.
Steps. I just wanted to thank Professor Price for allowing us to have this experience, and thank Robey Theatre as well as all of these screenwriters and actors that came to talk to us.
Yeah.